If you're wondering, should I start an education business or what is the future of online education? Should I do this? This is what I feel like the future of online education is all about. So I'm going to break down these 3 things here. I think it'll help you make a better decision as to whether or not you should think about starting an online education business where maybe you either sell an online course, you do high ticket coaching and maybe mentorship or even like a consulting situation, and or you start a content plus community-based membership program where people are paying you monthly to get access to your community or have access to your content and just the other members in the community. So those are the 3 things that you really want to think about when it comes to having an online education business: online course, having a mastermind, or having a really high ticket like consulting situation where somebody's working with you very one-on-one to help them, or you have like a membership program, which is probably one of my favorite ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into these 3 things and talk about the future of online education. And at any point, if you want to learn more about this whole thing, I've got some stuff in the description. And also, give me your feedback on this down in the comments. Let me know what's going on there, okay? So I can help you. But here's how I believe people are really going to learn, and they're going to change in the way that they learn. So how people will learn is I feel like they're going to be following people that have become masters of their craft. And then, by following these people that are masters of their craft, where they're sharing their mastery online through the media and different things like that, social media, people will start to respect their views and their beliefs, and they're going to follow these people, and then they're going to follow their journey and follow their results. So as you share what it is that you're learning as a master of a particular craft, people are going to naturally gravitate towards that. We see this all the time. If you go onto YouTube, people are watching videos all the time, and on all the other platforms as well, but YouTube seems to be a really powerful one. But they're finding the people that can teach them something, that have mastered their craft, and instead of going to like a college or something like that, they can not have to worry about doing all these other things, and they can just focus on what it is that they want to learn instead of having to take English 101 and Math 102 and blah, 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 right? So when they do that, they're going to find, man, I really like this person. I respect the way they view things. I respect their beliefs. And they start following them. They start learning from them. And then through their journey, through that person sharing their journey and their story, people will become more connected with that person. And that's where they're going to get those big shifts. And I believe that's how people are going to learn going into the future. I don't feel like they're going to go the old route where you go sit down and get lectured at in a hall. And, the old way of learning, I feel like, is from memorization or this like solo self-learning type journey. And I feel like that's going to fade out, right? Like just memorizing a bunch of content to memorize it. I think the real transition is going to go to the new way, which will be, coaching and mentoring and apprenticeships where they can literally work with somebody that's very experienced in a particular niche or vertical, and they can dive in with that person and learn with them and get into a group setting with them or a mastermind and really, connect in with that particular niche. And we'll have people that are just absolute super experts. And to me, I feel like it's really powerful this way. Whereas, you go to a college or something like that and you're just sitting in a room, half there, who knows what's going on. It's just this big, like, here's a bunch of content, memorize this stuff so you can pass the test. I just don't feel like that's going to serve us going forward. And then here's what I feel like the 3 core parts of future education really look like. I feel like the people online, like for instance, myself, I have a program called Build Lab where I teach people how to basically start an e-learning business where they can create a high-ticket consulting product, or they can create a membership-based community type product where there's content inside of it, or they can create an online course. And the perfect world is combining all of those together to have like a really nice product suite where you can, have a high-ticket consulting type product where that keeps you sharp, keeps you on your edge, makes you very in tune with what's going on in your space, and it pays you very well so that you can have the money to invest in the other things. And then you can create an online program where you can take somebody step by step through the different parts of what they need to do to get to a certain end result, and you can have a content community-based membership where members of the community that are all going towards the same thing and they're all wanting the same type of outcome, and they connect with people that they like and trust, and it's that feeling of like we're in this together and learning together. And so by creating certifications, the learning that isn't just based on consuming content, but it's actually based on having like a certification of a specific skill or process. And there's places doing this now, but at least when they get done, they can be like, yeah, here, I've got this certification. And, it's kind of like having a master's degree or whatever. But with this, it's like, I learned this thing. The only way to get this badge is by doing this specific deal. And it's just like if you were building like a sports team, you'd want to go out there and find the best player for that specific position. Whereas like a lot of the people that I talk to, and a lot of the, even, my son and his friends and these kids that are out in college and stuff, it's like, yeah, I got a master's in business. Well, what is that? I mean, I know I have friends of mine that have master's degrees in business and they're like managers at Home Depot. You know what I mean? So it's like, but if you're a master at setting up funnels for e-commerce businesses and they can hire you because you have a certified skill in that, I feel like that's really powerful. And you can be like, yeah, this dude right here can do this, or this girl is really good at this. And then experiential, like when you get, they always say when two minds get together, it creates this third, more powerful mind. I feel like in the future, there'll be more like in-person retreat type learning and masterminds that are facilitated by experience, connection, and feeling, where it's small groups of people that are laser focused on a specific goal. And it's more about experiencing it in that way, and then having an online like learning management type system where you record the masterminds and they have those later to go over and really get this thing dialed in really, really tight. I feel like that's where things are going to go. And then this one here, which is probably, one of my favorite ones, and I think probably maybe even one of the ones that caused the biggest massive change, is where you have content plus a community-based membership where people can pay you a monthly fee. Maybe you have 1,000 people paying you $50 a month, or you have 1,000 people paying you $100 a month or something like that, right? Where it's very low cost, but together the people that are in there are making everybody else in there better. And it's where you combine content where it's like, here, take these steps, go through these pillars and these action items, and then you combine that with the expertise of the group and the person that has facilitated the actual membership, and then the wisdom of the whole group in this third, more powerful mind. I know inside of my own program, Build Lab, like today somebody posted something and one of the members went in right away and was like, hey man, here's what I think about that. And then another person chimed in and they got to the result without me. And it wasn't about me. It was about the group and who's in there working together. And I feel like that power of that community is so legitimately stronger than just, showing up to a class or something, right? And so I feel like over time we can cause massive change. Like with my program, Build Lab, when people are, they'll go through my program and, they learn how to do the thing, but then it's like, now you're going to go out there and actually get into the actual experience of it. And then what? Okay, well, that's when it really happens. And that's why with our Build Lab memberships, it's like you're involved there, go out. And then I do weekly Q&A calls and collab calls with them every Monday and every Thursday. And they can share their screen with me. They can tell me what they're experiencing out there actually doing it. And then the other people in the community can come together and be like, yeah, I went through that too. And then you really get your problems worked out. Whereas, a lot of things that I see out there, a lot of programs, it's just like, oh, here's what to do, and then good luck, and there's no support. And that's what I really feel like is going to be a big changer in the future of what's going on with learning. But there's another thing, that I've always said, and I feel like is so true, that when you go to learn something, there's really these three core aspects. Like I had a guy the other day comment on one of my TikToks. He's like, oh, I don't need to take your course, man. I can just go online and learn everything. I don't need to do that. Everything's free online. And, that's true, right? But the problem is when you go online, it's fragmented. It's not in a standard operating procedure. It's not like in a step-by-step, click-by-click, here's this. And you're getting all these different types of opinions and beliefs from everywhere. And then what does that do? It confuses you. It takes longer. It takes, this thing that you want so bad and makes it even like a feeling like you can't do it because you're just getting all this scrambled information. So what I find it is that you really need is, number one, you've got to have the heart and you've got to have that willpower to actually want to do it, okay? So I can't give that to you. Nobody can give that to you, but that's the first thing. You've got to have the willpower and the want. And then the next thing you need, number two, is you need to have the map, right? You need somebody that can give you, sequential steps. They can give you the blueprint, the roadmap, step by step, exactly what to do. And then you also need support. So, sorry about the crazy drawing there, but you need support, right? That's number three. And when you connect these three things, that's when you can have success and win. You can't just have the willpower and not the map. You can't just have the map and not the willpower. You can't just have the map and not support, because no matter how good something is out there, you're going to need support. There's going to be questions. And so that's why, in our Build Lab program, and I hope you do this with your own program, is you add levels of support in there. Not only does it make you better, when I get on each week with my clients, and the members of Build Lab, like we all get better together. I get better, they get better. And that through that type of learning is where you really become, just fantastic at what you do. And then you really can go out there and help other people. And so it's really important, I feel like, that you have those three things. And more than important, I feel like it's absolutely like mandatorily necessary, okay? So to wrap up here and to give you some more insight as to like the future of online education, I found this Charles Dickens quote here, and it says, "No one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of another person." And so a lot of people out there don't realize that they have something very powerful that they could help other people with, that people would be willing to pay for. And so they go to this 9-to-5 job, or they have this, these golden handcuffs, like this salary, like, for instance, I have a neighbor that works in a very, he works for like Koch Industries, KOCH. And, I know he makes like probably 20 grand a month or something like that, but he doesn't have the freedom. And like, I see how that like, it works on him, and I'm like, there's a big difference between, having that freedom and not. And so, there's so many people that have this want to start a business, or this want to have this freedom and, pay and all these things. And they don't realize that there's this e-learning world out there where you can master a topic, and then you can share that with people, and you can get a small group of people together, and you can really help them. And through that, you get rewarded very handsomely. You can set your own level to whatever you want to go to. I mean, you can make millions, you can make high six figures, you could make an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month, whatever you want to do. It gives you control, and you can do it from anywhere. And a lot of people, I don't think, realize that. And that's where I think this, it's so cool that media and SaaS, software as a service, is so cool, because, for us, it's like it's designed to help us do more with less and give us more power and time, because the media allows us to gain exposure out there for our education programs and communities. And then, the software as a service, like I'm using this software here. A lot of people always want to know, like, what is this, software that you use to do all this stuff? It's called Miro. I teach you how to use it really well inside of my program, but you can probably figure it out. It's pretty simple. But this is a software as a service right here. This is a SaaS, right? I pay a small fee to have this software that allows me to create, in this way, a service for you. I'm servicing you in the way that I can help you here. And then like I have another program where it's where I have my community build lab, right? And that's another software as a service. And, to combine these things in the e-learning, this is really going to help us improve the human optimization system. So more power, more time. and we can do more with less, because I can go out there in the media and I can put content like I'm putting out, like this piece of content right now is obviously not live. So it's out there working for me day in and day out, driving people into my other software as a service, which is like my funnel, where you can hook these things together and it can be working for you out there, allowing you more penetration. And, really my goal with my clients is to get them their first 1,000 leads, because that'll typically, if it's set up with our program, turn into 10 to 50 sales, right? And let's just say you're charging, $1,000, or the lifetime value of a customer is $1,000 to you. If we can get you that 10 to 50 grand right away, that gives you your confidence, that gives you your belief, that gives you the know-how, and then we can turn, these 1,000 leads, into 1,000 leads a month, and then hundreds of leads a day. And I show a lot of people in my program just how to do it organically. Because when you build something organically, it's not as fast as using ads. And I show you how to do that too, but it's more about having something build that's consistently building for you while you're out doing other things. Because a lot of the people that come to me want to help other people, but they want to make a lot of profits. They want to have happy customers, and then they want to have freedom. And so when you use these tools, it allows us to do that. But the next thing is like with our community stuff, I want to help our people get 1,000 people that join their community at whatever number, okay? If it's, $50, how would that change like your whole world if you had that outcome, right? That would be pretty cool, right? If people paid you $50 a month and you had 1,000 people paying you that, okay? What if that even took, 2 years? What if it took a year? What if it took 6 months? Like, who cares, right? Where are you going to go do this? Where are you going to go make, that kind of money in that short a time, right? And that's why I think the e-learning is the easiest way to help people gain higher levels of freedom and also increase their level of hierarchical needs. So, there's the hierarchical of needs, like you need security, then you need food, and you need shelter, and then it's like independence from needs of, money and all that stuff. I don't know anything that can get you there faster, in a more fun way, in a more free way, because you can do it from anywhere. So, I just think if people took the time to focus on a skill, master a particular craft, share their beliefs and share their views, and then shared their journey and their results, they would have people following them, okay? And people would be learning from them, which is great, right? And then what would happen is you would have people coming to you and learning from you. And if you can get 1,000 people, okay, what if they paid you $100 a month? What if they paid you $10 a month, right? That's the vision that I want people to realize, because it's completely true and it's so real and it's so helpful. And to me, it literally is the future of online education. So over the next 20 years, it would be super sustainable for someone to be able to do that. And so my confident bet going forward is that education is going to make a massive shift for the better. It's going to get more personalized. It's going to get more effective. And I feel like people are going to continue to build really powerful personal brands because of this, because of what I talked about here, the new way people will be learning, where they're going to be following people that they respect and believe. And I just feel like it's really going to help humans be better. And I feel like we're all going to win because of it. And so I want to be a part of that shift. That's what I do with, our Build Lab program. And, if you want to learn more about that, obviously you can go down in the description, or you can just check it out right here. But I just hope you realize that this is coming. And, they talked about the e-learning space, how by 2030, it's supposed to be, over $600 billion. That's over $2 billion. It's like at $1 billion a day now, industry. And it's not just about money. It's about like being able to actually have impact and be able to do what it is that you love to do, and, be really good at something and feel progress and feel that connection with others. Because you might be watching this and you're just like me. You're a person that, wants to do great things, wants to have control and power, and just, it's hard for you to work for somebody else. And so what are you supposed to do? Just be miserable, right? No. You're supposed to find something that can really work for you and give you those things. And before this real e-learning market and all this stuff, that wasn't so accessible. But now it's getting easier and easier and easier. And I just want to be someone to help you be aware of that you can do what it is that you love to do. You can help people get great results. You can make massive amounts of profit, and you can really just create that freedom and that lifestyle that makes you happy. So I hope this impacts you. I hope you find value in this. I'd really love to know down in the comments if you had any like aha moments here, or if maybe you disagree with a lot of what I'm saying. I'd love to hear that too. I like to have a good, healthy, constructive conversation with people. And maybe share with me what it is that you would like to do, and maybe I can reply back and be like, here's some advice on that, or here's some help on that. And so hope you found this valuable. I'll see you in the next video.